What do you do get ready for bed?
All right, enough, son. All right, as we get set up for our show this evening, the comrade will be joining us shortly. It's like, there's the comrade. Hello, comrade. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my New York Knights shirt under a Pop Fisher.
It looks like a Yankees t-shirt. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. All right, we're waiting on Kale. Yeah, we'll deal with all that in a moment. Are you sunburned? Yeah.
At the ballpark all day
For
today.
a second here, Mike. I'm gonna reset my microphone for a moment. It sounds like, hi, Lisa. Let me reset my microphone for a minute. Hold on.
Oh, get out. What's up, Gwen? Happy birthday, buddy. Jackpot.
What's up?
Hello, son. All right, there we go. Now we should be good. Hello, Kale. How are you, sir?
Okay. How are you?
You sound upset, Kale. Are you tired? You just woke up from a nap?
A little bit. I worked outside all day today. I think I overdid it a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we will get started with the show, ladies and gentlemen. As I will play the opener. Let's go with this one first.
Welcome to the Rob, Comrade, and Kale Show. Rob Sanders.
I don't care. My jokes don't go over. I don't care.
Comrade Mike Bobo.
We hate you. I don't care.
And Kale Hall.
This is stupid. Making noises on the show. You're like a crazy person. Why do you do this to your father and I?
The Rob, Comrade, and Kale podcast.
I'm not ashamed no more.
I love that opener. Anyway, we're going to have new openers here for the show as we roll along, but welcome in to the Rob, Comrade, and Kale show. A lot going on in the college football world. We'll start with obviously I represent the Clemson Tigers on this podcast. We have a couple of co-hosts, including the bald man from the upstate who looks like he's a little tired right now. But Kale Hall, welcome to the show.
What's up? Glad to be here. Got some good, solid college football talk coming our way tonight. So,
yeah. Also, lots to talk about. And of course, the other end of our show includes the comrade, Mike Bobo. Mike, good evening, sir.
Good evening. It's great to be a Gamecock, like always, but we do have some sad news. The great Wilford Brimley passed away yesterday, and he did lots of great things, but to me, he will always be Pop Fisher, and I'm wearing my New York Knights t-shirt here from the great movie The Natural, passed away yesterday. So rest in peace, Pop Fisher, a.k.a. Wilford Brimley, and also happy birthday to Gwen Weber, the man, the myth, the legend. Happy birthday to him. Have a great night, buddy. It's we're glad to have you here during the show.
Yeah, happy birthday to you, Gwen. We appreciate you. Gwen watches the show like all the time, and We appreciate him. So thanks a lot to Gwen. We have a lot to get into this evening. I want to thank our sponsors first, Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart. We appreciate them as always. And we, of course, have DNC Trucking and Transport, the No Spin Zone segment with the Comrade. Comrade, read away.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson is the program that sets the standard for this state. My fan base supports a podcast that has a host who encourages people to mock a college kid who has special needs and has issues with females on Twitter. Dennis Wilson has a luscious ass. I am the reason Cale Hall pisses in his sink. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. There weren't a lot of things that weren't facts in that one. I didn't have to spend much. It's kind of a shit show. If you've been following on Twitter today, and I'm not going to give this guy any publicity that he needs, but the Comrade corrected me on something earlier today in a text message. There was a recruit that the Gamecocks got from Wingate, which, I think the thing that gets me with that is that guys transfer in and transfer out from programs all the time. Just because someone comes from Wingate or, anywhere else doesn't mean that they can't come in and actually do something. If you remember correctly, and correct me on this if I'm wrong, Comrade, wasn't Javon Kinlaw a transfer that transferred into the program? I mean, he transferred into South Carolina, right?
I'm not. He's a JUCO kid, so yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that just because someone comes from another program doesn't mean that they're automatically going to suck. You know what I'm saying? But this idiot host.
And real quick, there's a young man that I know of and Gwen knows of who in high school did not get looked up at anybody. He went to a real small school, and I forget what the school is now, a real small school. And then in pro day, he got a workout, and he made the NFL, played for the Texans, played for the Jets special teams, and he blossomed. I mean, so some kids aren't ready to go D1 out of high school, but kind of get in there. And I'm not saying this guy's going to be Jerry Rice. But by the way, Jerry Rice went to a small school too. But I'm just saying, this the idea that a person who has a podcast was mocking the Gamecocks, who actually, follows the Gamecocks, was mocking the Gamecocks over Will Muschamp saying Spurs up because the kid's from Wingate. And so he quickly deleted the tweet, and because people are mocking.
But then he came back and doubled down, and this guy is a complete jizmop, by the way. But here's the other fascinating part about all this. In addition to doubling down and looking stupid, he goes and he blocks people that questions him, and then comes back and just spews out nonsense all over the place. This guy's an absolute mess. But the reason that I say the Comrade helped correct me on something was I was like, I don't know why Mike Bobo is acknowledging this idiot on Twitter. But you know what? Comrade said it's a great move for him to defend the kid on Twitter. And I think that was a solid. And with that, he defended the young man that's going to eventually be playing for him. So Comrade's right on that. Defend when someone mocks a young man that's coming to you, you should defend them. So with that, the Comrade, he brought that to my light today, and I appreciate that. But on the other end, I don't understand why a coach from any school is going to acknowledge this scumsucker ever, because it kind of validates him a little bit, and it makes him seem like he's some big mover and shaker and whatever, and in reality, he's not.
Well, the thing I saw there that he had said, his original tweet was something about, why are we beating our chests over this? Well, I don't see where anybody was beating their chest about it. I mean, it's news. I mean, it's a transfer. Somebody joins your program. That stuff happens all the time. I don't know they were necessarily beating their chests over it. So I don't know. Some of his takes are just out there. How's that Uber driving job going, by the way?
I got nothing. I don't even know where that came from.
I don't know either. I'm not looking. just like he's I don't know, he's out there.
Yeah, Black Sheep says, guys, do something to boost recruiting. Well, first of all, receiver is a position that we're kind of have issues with right now. So anyone we can get in a receiving position is good. So I'm not sure why he wouldn't try to uncover somebody. I'll keep in mind that Hunter Renfro was a walk-on for Clemson. I imagine if he didn't want to walk on somewhere, he went to a small school like Wingate too. So you never know what happens. So we'll see.
Yep. Come down to it.
We lose Jack
to mock this kid. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't get why somebody's going to mock this kid. You know, you don't know how good this kid's going to be. That's the thing that bugs me. You know, we can goof off.
It's a pro Gamecock podcast. I mean, it's not like a podcast that, I mean, like if like for instance, and you wouldn't do this anyway, but say if you were to mock the kid, like if you were to mock Will Muschamp, because you're, on this show, the Robin Conrad and Cal show, you're the Clemson perspective, and you were to mock, oh yeah, that'd be one thing. Like you'd get crap for it, but like, oh, okay, he's a Clemson guy. But this is a podcast that is a all Gamecock podcast. It's a podcast supposed to be all Gamecocks, and he's supposedly a big Gamecock fan, even though he went to Newberry. I mean, so it's just kind of weird.
Yeah. I had to restart our sound system there for a second. Is that better, Kale? Yeah, Kale for some reason is having some problems here. Let me I'm gonna drop real quick and come back in, and then you guys do this. Let me just drop out real quick, remove myself, and then I will jump back in just a second. Hold on.
Jackpot, can you hear me?
There we go. All right. So, gentlemen, I think I can hear you now. I don't know what exactly happened there. Kale, you're good to go. I can hear you over there.
Hear you.
Yep. Kale, can you say something? You can't hear us. Hi, Kale. I don't know what's going on with Kale tonight with his feed, because ours sounds good, but his sounds silly. Let me see what we can do to fix this really quick. I apologize for this, but I don't know exactly what happened with Kale. We're going to need to restart his feed. Restart your feed. Anyway, with this guy, he's just not very bright. I sent Kale a message there. It says restart your feed. Let me just remove him. What's up, Randall? How are you? There we go. We'll get Kale back in just a second. Comrade, you can hear me good to go, right? You're good? Yeah. I don't know why you're sounding so hollow, but I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I wanted to bring that guy up tonight. Also, the next thing we're going to talk about really quick is it's kind of the issue with, we haven't been back on since the SEC and the ACC made their decision, or the SEC made their decision. They didn't want to schedule the rivalry games. We goof about it. Hi, Kale. Hello, Kale. Holy shit. I don't know what the difference is with Kale's line over there. Jackpot, can you hear us at all?
Poor Jackpot.
I got nothing. I don't know if Kale's got different headphones.
What if he could call in?
Yeah. I mean, we can try to do that, but Yeah, we just can't hear you, Kale. I mean, it's working for Comrade and I, but I don't know what's going on with yours. So, I mean, it's a mess. Let me see. I can bring up comments. So everything's fine here. It's something's going on with Kale's feed there. Let me get into the mix here. Comrade, I'm going to try to get with Kale real quick. Can you explain the SEC situation and your thoughts on that real quick as I try to get Kale in the mix here?
Yeah, so the big thing was the ACC came up first with doing the 10-game schedule with a +1 that you could schedule a rivalry game. Okay, starting September 12th. The SEC then came out and did a 10-game conference schedule with no +1. The big difference is the SEC does not want to start until the 26th of September. And a lot of people, I know people are joking around, the SEC is scared of the ACC. The reason why the SEC chose the date, okay, by choosing the 26th of September, you can't play more than 10 games. And the reason why they chose the 26th of September is so that they can go last. They want to watch the Big 12 go first, the ACC go first, the NFL go first, and if it becomes a shit show with those, then probably college football is called off, and they don't have to worry about looking like a shit show. The SEC does not want to be the one who goes first and has all the positive tests and so forth. And if things go well for the Big 12, the ACC, and the NFL, then they can go ahead and start the season up. So that's why they're doing it. They're not doing it to end rivalries. They're not doing it anyway. They're doing it mainly because they don't think there'll be a season. And they're going to hedge their bets and watch the others go first, and they can sit back and watch and see. And then come the 26th, if things are going well, they'll go ahead and start the schedule. But it's really about trying just to protect themselves from looking bad, in my opinion. What do you think, Rob?
All right. So, anyway, Kale, are you able to hear us now, sir? No? I don't know if Kale can hear us. No, I don't think Kale can hear us at all. And I don't know what the problem is. Comrade and I can hear each other. I'm gonna boot Kale and then have him drop back in once again. Sorry about that, folks that are watching live. Normally this thing works smoothly, but apparently it didn't. So anyway, what I think with this, and I mocked the SEC for being cowardice at the end of the when all this came out, but the reality is it comes down to this. It comes down to the almighty dollar. It comes down to the almighty dollar. And what it means by that is that the SEC is already going to lose home games this year, and they are going to having that extra away game for some of those teams is just not going to be good. And a lot of it you can blame on the ACC because they said that they want the home games played in state, so that could affect some stuff there. But I think that after everything's settled, as long as the SEC says, okay, we put it on pause for this year, but for next year, the games continue the way that they were, meaning that wherever that game was scheduled for this year, it goes into next year. Now, there is the adage that the SEC could be like, why would we do that? Because next year, we're going to take away another home game. I mean, you definitely have that issue, but yeah, it's definitely a mess.
I don't think that will happen, Rob. Like for Clemson, Carolina, okay, their schedule is built up years in advance, knowing that in the even number of years, and for Clemson has a home game with the Gamecocks. And if you reverse it and make it odd number of years, then it screws up your schedule balance. It screws up like different promotions are doing. So I don't think they're going to – I think they'll just kind of cancel this one out, and next year it'll be back at Columbia. I don't think you can if you screw that up. There's a lot of moving parts that screws up your schedule.
I think that there's also the adage of South Carolina was planning on having that home game with Clemson next year, and if they if they don't have it, then that's revenue that they're going to lose. So, you have that going as well. We joke about it, but in the end, I think that the SEC I think they were trying to protect their bigger brands, meaning that the majority of the big rivalry games that they're going to have, Alabama, Auburn, Florida, LSU, Georgia, Florida, all those rivalry games they're going to have because they're in conference. And I think that they don't, I don't think that. I think they're more. If it were Alabama and Auburn in a different conference, I really think they would do something to try to fix that, in my opinion. But there you go with that. Cale, do you have any thoughts on that?
Okay, comment from.
I just drop back in at midpoint there, but I just pretty much reiterate what you said there. I got nothing, but yeah, they would. You got a lot of rivalry games in the SEC. They're played between conference members, so yeah, I guess these aren't as important to them as the almighty dollar. But I did see a quote today from Danny Ford. He said this was Auburn and Alabama. They figure out a way to play it.
Danny Ford's right on that. It makes sense to me. But hey,
Jonathan Boatwright has a comment. Jonathan Boatwright says Greg Sankey is trying to cover his tail. He already has egg in his face. We can go hundreds of thousands of miles, but 135 miles at Clemson is a COVID bridge too far. It's got nothing to do with travel. It really doesn't. It's a combination of the TV money, but really, it's the fact that, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't think there's football this year. I'm watching baseball. Baseball can't do it. Major League Baseball is probably going to cancel next week. That's what the rumor is right now. I don't see how you can get college kids who are playing a sport where it's contact and trust college kids to make great decisions. Major League Baseball players can't stop going to a strip club or go to a party to get it. I just don't see it happening. Yeah. Well, I don't think you're gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. But the reason why the Clemson SEC is not being played, one, the SEC does not think a season is going to happen, and two, they want to wait until everyone goes first. It's not. They want to wait and go last. The date is why there's no Clemson Carolina game. You can't start the season September 26th and play more than 10 games.
Right.
So that's where it comes from. So that's what happened. And the reason why they voted on it wasn't to kick out the rivalry game. It was because they don't want to be the one going first and having the issues or having the potential, if it gets out of hand, they don't want to look bad. And so they'll wait for the NFL to look bad or the ACC to look bad or the Big 12 to look bad and have them call the season. Have them be the ones say, you know what, we can't do it. And they'll say, okay. So I think that's really what it is.
Well, I mean, and normally I'm not trying to be combative with you, Mike, but we've heard forever that the SEC leads in everything, and to watch other with what you said, watch the ACC screw up or whoever, that just doesn't seem very interesting to me. I don't understand why they're doing that, but
they look good that way. They don't look like they have a shit show. They lean back. Let that just go and go, okay, you know what? You guys tried it. I guess,
That's not the moniker that they go after with they're supposed to lead in everything. Does that make sense?
Well, they don't want to lead in shit shows, though. That's where the thing is. They think it's going to be a shit show. And they don't feel like leading in a shit show. That's my take on it.
And because somebody else be the guinea pig.
Yeah. Well, let someone else do that, and they can sit back and say, and who knows? I mean, and listen, for the people, I know we had a comment earlier about, this is all a pile of crap. Okay, I'm going to tell you real quick. A baseball player for the Red Sox, Eduardo Rodriguez, 26 years old, great health. He tested positive for COVID 32 days ago. Okay? He has swelling around his heart. They cannot get the swelling to go down. They tried medication. He still can't get the swelling to go down in his heart. He tried throwing 15 pitches out of breath. Okay? They have no idea if this is going to be long-term, if it will go down, if his career is going to be hindered. And he's getting paid at least. He's making money. Okay? I don't think colleges really want to see that happen to a college football player, and God forbid someone dies, and people ask, well, why the hell did you play? What the hell were you thinking? You know? And I know people think it's all full of shit. Oh, it's stupid. But, I mean, that's what they're thinking of right now. And all it takes is one person, one kid dying. And you can say, well, it's just one kid. Well, and then there could be 10 more kids who maybe, suddenly they have heart issues and they can't. So, I mean, it's not that simple. And I said back in April, everyone said I was being, negative. I said, I just don't see it happen. Not with football's hard, man, especially college football. It's not. I mean, baseball is the easiest sport to do because it's hard to pass it to an opponent. But if you found out, though, it spreads among the teammates if you do that stuff. So I just don't see it happening.
It's a mess. I want to talk about the Pac-12, by the way, and you're free to call in over there if you want. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. We'll take your calls this evening. And, I would love for us to be talking about, because like normally, pre-COVID, we would be talking about training camp getting underway or fall camp or whatever, which, by the way, they call it fall camp, but it's 800 fucking degrees outside. I've never understood why they call it.
Me either. I always got that.
Yeah. We're heading to fall camp. I think fall camp, like, women getting their pumpkin lattes and wearing their freaking Uggs, but it's so hot outside. Look at poor Kale. Kale was outside in his yard today. He looks like the sun. He tried to fight with the sun, and the sun kicked his ass. What the hell were you doing in your yard, Kale?
I just mowing, weed eating, all that, man. It's all the regular shit.
Typical bullshit.
900 degrees up here today, so.
Well, not that I'm big time, but I paid my nephew $20 to cut my grass. Fuck that. Here you go, nephew.
So it's quite the only exercise I get, so I don't mind doing it, but good God, today.
It wears your ass out, doesn't it? But anyway, crispy kale. Brock says kale looks like a tomato. Hey, Kale, do you have like a big floppy hat or some shit that you wear on your head up there, man? Or are you just out there just fuck it? Let everybody see this bald goodness.
No, I went commando.
Oh, shit. By the way, become a patron of the show, and we will buy Kale a fucking bucket hat so he doesn't come on the show looking like a damn roasted tomato from freaking Olive Garden. Holy shit, Kale. It says he'll cut my grass for $20. Nah, we keep it in the family over here, man. Comrade's out there cutting his grass.
Do you have a chainsaw? I heard a chainsaw is important.
A chainsaw is important. No, I got my nephew to cut it. He just comes over here, cuts it, and looking like, doing his thing. So we're going to take calls here tonight, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905 is the number to call as we roll along here on the Rob Comrade and Kale show. And refresh my phone system here, because apparently the phone call went directly to my phone, which was kind of interesting. But you can...
I will say one thing real quick. Yesterday was my 27-year anniversary of being a Gamecock. 27 years ago yesterday, I showed up on the proving grounds. So let me tell you, back then, it was 100 degrees for 10 straight days. Not heat index, actual 100 degrees for 10 straight days. I'm a boy from the north, Yankee boy. Hadn't been used to this heat yet. Let me tell you, I was cramping. I remember touching my helmet one time and almost like burned my hand off. Like it was ungodly hot. And I'll never forget, they weigh you before practice and weigh you after practice. And I'm just like a little skinny ass quarterback at the time. And I lost like 9 pounds. And I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, you're good. Go back to the – you're good. The big old lineman would lose like 15, 16, 18 pounds. They had to sit there and drink Gatorade and then weigh again until they could leave. They wouldn't let them leave until they got some of the weight back. But I would lose. It was like you would take off your shirt and just bring it out. And I was just like, It was ungodly. But 27 years ago, yesterday,
right,
my anniversary.
Well, that is congratulations on that. Not very many people are can remember the day that they became a fan. The Comrade's got it etched in his calendar. Gamecocks have been kicking him in the dick ever since. Poor Comrade. Poor Comrade. I hate to be the guy that brings this up again, but we got to talk a little bit about what the Pac-12, the players for the Pac-12 are asking for a hell of a lot, or they're going to walk out. And it is it's a mess in Pac-12 land. And when I read that today, I sent the story to the Comrade, and I was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to happen. I mean, you've got that set of players that are basically saying, hey, we need you to give us written in writing that you'll take care of us with this whole COVID thing. But right now, they want a lot more than that. And some of the stuff they want, where they want all the coaches to take 50% of their contract and the athletic directors. I mean, I think that may be asking a little bit too much, but asking them to basically take care of them if they catch the COVID, I don't think that's going too far. Do you think I'm wrong in that, Mike?
I mean, not at all. I mean, like, we don't know what it's going to do to you. Like, we have no idea. And here's the thing. The only reason they're going to try playing this season is for the TV money. They need the money. Okay? And this kind of shows you again, okay, this is supposed to be college sports, and these are student athletes, how much these schools need these guys. Okay? And this shows you right here. And this can end programs. I mean, if there's no college football season this year, it can end some of the sporting programs for those schools. I mean, Carolina will have to drop a program somewhere. I mean, we had Furman drop baseball. I mean, football supports all these other programs, and there's pay cuts involved. So I mean, so the players are sitting there saying, "You want us to risk all this stuff to make you money, but what do we get out of it?" You can say, "Oh, you get a scholarship." Okay, well, is that worth it? I mean, is it worth the scholarship to I mean, and listen, once again, the odds of someone dying,
dangerous situation,
are very slim. But it's crazy though, and so I don't blame it all. NFL players making money, Major League Baseball players making money. They can make the decision.
Kale, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they're being put in a dangerous situation. So being asked, or you take care of us. I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable either. So.
Yeah, but some of the other stuff they're asking for, I think is sort of like they're shooting for the moon here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you look at this and you're like, man, how does this? I don't get it at all. To be completely honest with you, it is it really is a shit show with the stuff that they're asking for. But I mean, I truly got nothing as far as. I think Washington State, by the way, they're allowing players that are part of the walkout. Basically, they're allowing them to leave. So, yeah, and Jonathan Boatwright, a good comment over there, says, "I get the expectations of being taken care of, but what does that have to do with wanting half the Pac-12 revenue?" He's right. I mean, he is absolutely right on that. I don't get what wanting half the revenue is.
Yeah, it's called leverage. It's called listen. It's clear how much you need us. It's clear how much we pay us playing football, pay for so many programs and pay so many salaries. So guess what? So that's all. I mean, listen, unrealistic, yes, but that's called leverage. And listen, I think one thing that's waking up to I'm sure a lot of us already knew this, is how important football is in terms of revenue for these college programs. And I think if we have a season that's canceled this year, you're going to see that big time. Because some programs, won't come back. And these smaller programs that rely on the big paycheck to come play and get their ass kicked, the Charleston Southern's of the world, you might see them not have a football program anymore. And so you're going to see. I don't think there'll be a season this year, and I think the ramifications of that are you're going to have a lot less football programs, and they're not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, and by the way, I think with what they're shooting for, I believe that compromise is where you walk away and you think, okay, I got some of what I wanted, but I gave up something. I think that when they came together, they shot for the moon, okay, and said, this is what we want in the perfect world. But I think if they all get together, they'll come back and it'll be a little bit closer to the middle. But the idea of, hey, they're not even going to guarantee to take care of them as far as their health is concerned if they catch the COVID. I think that if you're in a major conference and the money that they get, I don't think that's asking for a whole hell of a lot. But I do think that the idea of, hey, I want the coaches to put half their money up and we want half of the Pac-12 revenue. Come on, man. That's just outlandish. Let's go out to the phones, and we will welcome in our caller here. Yo, caller, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Hey, good evening. This is Texas A&M fan.
Oh, what have you got for us, man?
Hey, listen, I was just listening to the show, and I wanted to make a comment about the Ivy League shutting down their programs.
What you got, bud?
Well, the thing the reason the Ivy League is so important to the whole system is if you'll look at each of the colleges, they got what they call an endowment fund, okay? Well, the Ivy League's endowment fund is just dwarfs everybody else. So they have the power. So when the Ivy League speaks, then everybody else has to fall in line.
Okay.
So what's happened is the Ivy League doesn't want to take the risk, and they put it out there. And these other leagues are kicking around and kicking around. But the powers already spoke. So this other stuff is just a circus. That's all they're doing now.
All right. Well, hey, man, you got anything else for the show?
No, I think you guys are doing a great job. And I don't have anything else. Like I said, I just want to call in and let you know that I'm hoping that we do get some kind of games in. But I don't see it because of the situation. Like I said, the Ivy League's already given everybody a way out, but they hadn't followed it yet. So maybe they will.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for joining us on the program. We appreciate you. The thing with the Ivy League is different because, and once again, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are no scholarships in the Ivy League in theory. Right?
Well, no scholarships, and also they don't really rely on TV revenue. And so the fact that if they played a season this year, they probably would have no fans, and that's where they make their money for football. Is the fans going to buy tickets? So to them, it's not worth even having a season in the situation they're already. I will say this too: the Ivy League was the first one in basketball to shut things down, and I remember thinking even myself back then, like, man, they shut down like a week before.
Everybody,
like Rudy, the whole crap happened. That show we had that Wednesday night when everything hit the shitter. When the jazz player now, Rudy Gortat. So, but they shut down early. And I remember thinking, man, they're really kind of going early a little bit, And then, of course, it turns out like, oh, no, they were kind of ahead of the game. So, we'll see. Personally, I think the Ivy League should play football in the spring yearly. I think that would be unreal to have spring football and have the Ivy League in the spring every year. I think spring football would work, and the Ivy League would get a TV contract out of it. I think everyone would have their own little Ivy League school they pulled for in football. Forget the XFL and all this stuff. Have one conference like the Ivy League play in the spring, and I think it'd be huge. NBC would pick them up. They get a TV deal, and those players be household names. They'd be there for 4 years. Maybe one or two might make an NFL roster once in a while, but that'd be unreal.
Yeah, man, that would give everybody their football fix,
Exactly. Right. You don't have to worry about it going out of business or anything like that because it's already, it's right there for you, and it's something you can actually count on instead of these leagues that pop up that run out of money. The Ivy League would actually be making more money than they normally do because now they're getting more TV revenue in there. I think it'd be unreal. So I'm all for Ivy League. I just got to pick my team. I think I might go with Princeton.
I think you're
10 Quakers.
Penn Quakers. Speaking of which, by the way, for folks that download and listen to the podcast, we appreciate you. But you can watch the show live on Wednesday and Sunday nights at 9:30, which means you can join the chat room, which Rich Long, friend of the show, joined the chat room off the top ropes talking about David Butts, one of the nemesis and one of our, not really a nemesis, just one of the group idiots in one of our Facebook groups. And everybody and their brother knows how dumb David Butts is. So everybody in the chat room losing their mind and mocking David Butts, which is hilarious. Shout out to Rich Long, by the way. You're more than welcome to call in the show. We should have Rich in one night when he's been hitting the shrooms. That would be funny. Brock says if South Carolina doesn't make the right move soon, everyone else will leave them in the dust. I don't know what anybody considers the right moves, Just from the outside perspective, if I were looking in, and I know Comrade loves the Gamecocks, but I don't know if I think Will Muschamp has kind of worn out his welcome to an extent. But I do get from the other perspective of who are you going to get to come in? And, you kind of have to take a leap a little bit if you're going to get rid of Muschamp after this season, if they have it. If not, he's got another season. But anyway, that's down the road. But as far as getting right, I mean, it's really hard right now to compete if you're a Power 5 conference. Once you get a recruiting class or two behind, it's just tough in my opinion. And making up that one or two recruiting classes can end up screwing you in the end. A perfect example of this is Florida State. Let's not forget, 6 years ago, 2013, I guess it's 7 years ago now, but in 2013, Florida State was the national champion. And all of a sudden, they missed a couple of recruiting classes, and they went from outstanding to shithole in a matter of seconds. So, I mean, you miss a recruiting class, and that can be something that really, really gets you. And I talk so much about losing Will Muschamp and getting rid of him because I don't really think he's that great of a coach. But from the other perspective, continuity is something that if you have that and you're all under the same message, you can make the argument that maybe it's not the best thing for them to fire him. I mean, if I were the AD, that's what I would do. But you could also make the argument that continuity could be key to possibly getting the program afloat.
Well,
I think heading into
what is continuity when it's continuously shitty?
Yeah, I was trying to be the devil's advocate, Cale. I mean, you're right on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Let me say this real quick, okay? Let's like we all know I'm a Will Muschamp fan. But let's just say that Will Muschamp is not the answer and he's a shitty ass coach, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and assume that just for this argument. Okay, it's not like everyone says leave the Gamecocks in the dust, okay? It's not like if we give Muschamp another year or two, the Gamecocks will never be good ever again. All it takes, assuming that Muschamp's not the answer, is to hire the right coach. If you hire the right coach, they will turn the program around. Okay? And it's not like they. I mean, and if Gamecock fans don't understand that, look at Brad Scott. We were at 1-10 with Brad Scott. Lou Holtz came and went 0-11. I don't think it can get worse than that. I'm just saying. Okay? But Lou Holtz was the right coach at the time. Next year, 8 wins, okay? And built them back up as Spurrier came. So it's not like some kind of, man, if we don't win this year or next year, we'll never win. No.
Yeah.
No, that we may never win. We may never win. I'm not saying but I'm just saying all it takes is the right coach coming in. Now I still think Muschamp has a chance, but assuming Muschamp is the right coach coming in, and you build the program the right way, and you can get it back. So it's not like it's the end of the whatever. That's all I'm saying. Don't get too.
They made last year at North Carolina with Matt Brown just in one season with players that were not his players.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too, but I think that the one thing that if I'm a Will Muschamp guy, I'm looking at it from this perspective. You can make the argument that on the offensive side of the ball, every year that he has been a head coach, he's never finished better than 8th in the conference. So those are hardcore numbers that don't lie. I mean, this is it's a trend. Now, on the other end, you can make the trend that defensively the teams have been better everywhere he's went to. And I'm not taking anything away. I know we goof off on this show, but the reality is that J.C. Horn is going to be a player in the NFL. Okwamu, if he can learn how to not get pass interference penalties, he's going to be a player in the NFL. You can Javon Kinlaw was a top 15 pick this year. So you're seeing where Muschamp is getting guys on the defensive side of the ball. But when you really look at offense, it's just inconsistent. But Bobo, go ahead.
At the rate our offenses have been playing the past couple of years, you basically need 2 first strings over on defense to be able to stand up to how much your defense is on the field. And they just don't have the depth. They have some good pieces here and there, but they just don't have the depth on defense to do that. And that's what you get when you have a coach who is kind of a bit of a dinosaur. And he's not gonna go to an up. We were supposed to go to an up tempo offense a couple years ago. Up tempo. Where the hell did it go? I mean, it didn't happen. So, this is 2020. This is the 2020s. Kids want to play in a fast-paced offense. That's what college football is about these days. It's not the damn 3 yards in a cloud of dust bullshit.
Yeah. Well, and Cale's right about that too. But, Mike, your perspective on that too, because, I mean, what Cale's saying makes a lot of sense. I mean, you can make the argument that Will Muschamp is a dated head coach. I mean, he really is. And I know that the first thing that you'll tell me is, well, Saban does stuff the same way. But, I mean, let's be honest. 10 years from now, do you think Saban's going to be at Alabama? He's going to be playing checkers somewhere.
No,
I mean,
Alabama will be. But no, I mean, listen, I understand that Muschamp has put himself in a spot now where he probably won't have to dig out of this. Now, the only thing saving him is the COVID, because – and what I mean by that is the fact that the Gamecocks' revenue, I don't think the Gamecocks can justify buying him out. And I don't think they have a season this year, which means he'll get next year. And so he'll have that. So at that point, he's going to have to take this roster and win some games that they're not supposed to win to turn things around and get recruiting back up and so forth. More than likely, it's probably not going to happen. So the question is, who do you hire? Who's the one hiring? Is Ray Tanner going to be gone too? So that's all happening too. But Rich only asked me how many wins will the Gamecocks get this year? Rich, they're going to get 0 wins and 0 losses. I don't think they're going to play a game this year. And if that happens, the Gamecocks will be undefeated in 2020. Something Clemson cannot say. And I'm going to get a damn shirt that says undefeated national champions 2020.
And also,
Columbia Fireflies have these shirts.
Rob's prediction that all 3 members of this show finishing in the top 10 of the contest will also happen.
Yeah, top 8. Top 8, ladies and gentlemen. I firmly believe that. By the way, if we have a football season, we're going to do the Rob Comrade and Kale Pick'em contest, and this is something that is Comrade, can you explain the Pick'em contest to everyone, please?
The Pick'em contest is a contest where usually it's 5 games a week that we select. Opening week, we do 10 games, but usually it's 5 games a week that we select. It's always the Gamecock game, always the Clemson game, and usually it's an ACC or SEC game. Usually the game of the week, and then we pick it's a point spread, and we go week by week. And at the end, it's $20 to get in, and at the end, the person with the most correct picks wins all the money. In the past, it's usually about $800 to $1,000 in that range for the grand prize. So it's one of my favorite things to do. I love. I'm also another gambling contest too. I'm in a couple gambling contests I love. It's my favorite thing to do. I love the point spread. I love the gamble, and so I'm kind of really disappointed. I mean, I'm disappointed not watching the Gamecocks play. That's part of it. I'm real disappointed in not being able to look at point spreads and talk about point spreads. All that stuff. One thing Boatwright brought up, he asked if there's no season this year, will the players get an extra year of eligibility? Good question. Baseball did it. I don't think it's going to screw up. I imagine. I don't know. It's going to screw up your numbers unless they go ahead and say, you know what, you can have more scholarships, but scholarships cost money. I don't know. It's a good question. Some guys are going to leave, like Trevor Lawrence. And those guys are not going to stick around. I mean, well, of course, I got Clemson fans who tell me that Trevor Lawrence is going to stay all 4 years because he just loves the school there. I'm like, well, please shut the fuck up. But anyway.
You know what? Let me – hold on that really quick there. I don't think Trevor Lawrence will stay 4 years, but I wouldn't be surprised if he came back for one more season. I really wouldn't. I don't think it's likely, but I wouldn't be surprised. But the idea of him being there for 4 years, holy shit, that's not happening.
You're going to have a lot of, but if they did that, you're going to have a lot of guys that leave for the NFL. But I don't know. That's been a great question because baseball, they did it for baseball, and it causes problems for baseball because what happens is your numbers are all screwed up now because you got guys now that went to Carolina, for example, who went there thinking, okay, I'm going to get some playing time. Well, now so-and-so's there, so I may transfer. So it screws things up. So that'll be if they cancel the season, that's going to be a big thing they got to think about if they get another year eligibility or not. So I don't know. That's a great question.
Another crazy thing is these kids that are coming in next year, class of 2021, what happens if, for all intents and purposes, none of these high school games get played? Well, they're going to miss out. I mean, a year of honing their craft or getting it perfected in high school. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Think about. I think we're going to see that, and then when we get back to a regular season, maybe next year, if we're able to have a regular season, you're gonna see some shitty play out there for a few years. You really are.
Yeah,
I will say this though. The one thing that keeps me going, because this is kind of depressing, and I watched the Red Sox Yankee game tonight, and the Red Sox were depressing. But the Red Sox Yankee game, there's no one in the crowd. It just doesn't feel like a Red Sox Yankee game. And I keep on reminding myself, as bad as this is, Pine football season, that when we do get back to normal, how awesome it's going to be. So I keep on telling myself that it's okay because eventually we're going to get back to normal. And it's going to be so awesome because we took it for granted. I feel like I took it for granted. I took the normalcy of sports for granted. So we will get to a point where we will get back to normal. We will get back to college football, NFL, Major League Baseball, college baseball, and it's going to be great when we get back there. And hopefully this never happens again in our lifetime.
Speaking on the South Carolina Gamecocks, once again, I didn't prep you guys for this because I wanted just your instant reaction. I've got 5 guys that I think are out there or could be out there that could be replacements for Will Muschamp. Now, I want you to be as honest as you can and give me a number from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, on you would like this guy to coach at South Carolina. Okay, so I've got a couple of them here.
Real quick.
And Mike, I need you to be honest.
Real quick.
Yeah.
No, real quick. No. Who we like or who we think is most, who we like to have or who we think is the most realistic guy that will be here for watching replay.
Who is the best? Who is the best fit in your opinion?
If I'm the AD and no one's going to tell me no, is that what you're trying to say?
Right. Ideal situation. You can have this list of coaches. So I'm going to give you the first name, and we'll let Cale go first. The first name is PJ Fleck from Minnesota. Cale, 1 through 5. Which way are you going to go?
I like him. I think he's a solid 4.
4. Comrade, who do you got, buddy? 1 through 5.
I'll probably give him a 3.5, maybe a 3.8. I'm not sure he fits down here in that SEC. I'm not sure it works down here.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's been up north. He's been up.
But I wouldn't be mad if we hired if that was our choice.
South Carolina.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad if that was our. If we got him, I would not be pissed. I wouldn't be like when I was definitely. I'd be excited about it. Yeah. So,
All right. Well,
the next. I'll go 4.
4. Okay. Well, that's just fair. At least you're being honest. You know what I'm saying? The next one on the list, and this guy's going to be coaching somewhere. He's got kind of a checkered past, in my opinion. Urban Meyer. Cale, you go first. Comrade saying, "Goddamn."
2.5.
2.5.
Because he's not gonna gain instant success here, and I don't know. I could see him eventually winning some games here. I could see that maybe being a Steve Spurrier type situation, but I don't know that he would be able to recruit down here, and I don't know. I think he's shady.
You have to recruit illegally.
Yeah, he's just a shady guy.
Shady fuck.
He doesn't. I don't think that he would fit in well here. So that's a no for me.
So Cale's got him at 2.5 though. Comrade, what do you put Urban Meyer?
I'm going to be honest with you right now. Okay, I do not want Urban Meyer. Shady as hell. I don't like him. He's old as fuck. I feel like we're going back to the old ways of that. Okay. And that being said, though, I also know myself well enough that if we had hired him, I would talk myself into it within a week. Like, yeah, God damn it, I love Urban Meyer. But like, that's just me because I love my school. Okay, but so now like a 2. If it happened, I would like drink the Kool-Aid and be like, oh man, he's coming here to freaking take back over the damn conference. And I buy my Urban Meyer shirt. It's the same thing. I'll tell you a story. Really story. I used to hate Jose Canseco. I hated him with a passion. The Red Sox got him. Okay, and I bought a damn Jose Canseco shirt. Like, oh yeah, man. Jose's misunderstood, man. He's misunderstood. He's a good ball player. Good clubhouse guy. So I switch real quick when they come
in a matter of seconds.
Urban Meyer would not be my first reaction though. If it came across the scroll, Gamecocks hire Urban Meyer. My first reaction is, oh shit. Okay. Gamecocks hire PJ Fleck. It's like, oh okay, all right, okay. But I would talk.
What's your rating? Is it? Are you at a 2, 2.5, or a 1?
I'd probably go 2. Urban Meyer. Yeah.
2 for Urban Meyer.
I would talk myself. Anyone we could hire freaking Rich Long, and within 2 weeks I'll freaking go. You know what? I think Rich can do it. I think Rich got to the right. So I'll talk myself into it. Okay, anything. But initial reaction, right. PJ Fleck's like, okay, 4. Urban Meyer's a 2. When initial reaction.
All right, a couple more coaches here that I had on my list earlier, and I wanted to get just your instant reaction. And if you watched on the live stream here, the comrade like cringed when I said Urban Meyer. By the way, we're taking your calls at 803-470-2905. Got two more coaches here. The first one is Mark Stoops from Kentucky. I think that is a absolute home run hire for the Gamecocks, in my opinion. Kale, where do you put Mark Stoops?
I put him up at a 4 also. only not there. I really want to see them hire a young coach. I really do. I don't know how old he is. He's probably around Muschamp's age. So I mean, it's not like he's a dinosaur or anything. But he's been around the SEC. He's been around the SEC East. Knows how to recruit well. He knows how to develop talent. He knows how to develop talent that may not be off the charts, eye-popping, not the 5 stars and high 4 stars like you get up there at Tatertown, but talented kids nonetheless that need a little bit of grooming. And him and his coaching staff do a pretty good job of that. Seem to do a pretty good job of game day preparation as well. So yeah, that would work for me. I'd be excited about that.
Comrade, where are you at with Stoops?
I would put him like above flex, a 4.5. I'll give him a 4.25, a slight lead over. I'd be more excited about over PJ Fleck. So I'd be happy with that. Yeah.
So you'd be more excited with Stoops over Fleck is what I want to make sure I'm hearing that correctly.
Just because Stoops has been in the SEC, so like he's proven that he can. He's been recruiting this territory at least. So at least I have a little more, confidence in that. So I would probably have him above PJ Fleck a little bit.
So above PJ Fleck. That's. I like Stoops a lot. I think he's a program builder. And I think that just what he's done at Kentucky has been just outstanding, in my opinion. But the final one that I have on the list here is from the University of Charlotte. I say Charlotte, but it's Will Healy. And good young coach. Seems like he's really energetic. Kale, what is your opinion on Will Healy from Charlotte?
I don't know enough about Will Healy to give you an honest answer on that. I watched their team last year against the spreads there, and they seems to be a good offensive mind, I would guess, based on the fact they put up a lot of points. But I just, I think. When you're looking at coach, I think there's you got the group of 5 teams, but you got like lower level group of 5 teams. And then you got like Charlotte and South Alabama and people like that. And then you have upper level group of 5 teams like UCF, Houston, South Florida. I even would throw App State in that category. So I think there's a gap there between them, and I just don't think. I think that going from UNC Charlotte to a program in the SEC would be a very tough ask for someone. I don't think that he would be successful.
Brock, and go ahead and get your statement out there, comrade, on Will Healy. I kind of know where you're going. You don't act like Dabo.
I think I don't like the listen. I don't like the fact that him and Dabo are freaking lovers. Okay, well, we're gonna put that up. We're gonna put that aside. We're gonna pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, I think he's the most likely person. Like if you put a gun to my head and said, Will Muschamp is going to be gone within the next 2 to 3 years, okay? 1 to 2 year, whatever. Who's your next coach? Gun to your head. Who you betting on? I'll say Will Healy just because I think we can get him, number one. and 2, I think he would take the whatever. Would I be excited about him? He's kind of like a baseball prospect, right? He has a chance to become a legend. He has a high ceiling, but he also could be someone who is just god awful and never makes it. Stoops, what you're going to get, right? Stoops, it's going to make it solid. PJ Fleck, probably solid, okay? If Urban Meyer came here, we'd probably be solid, okay? But will we be great? Will Healy, we have a chance to become what Brad Scott did to us and be absolute trash, be like what Darren Horn did to our basketball program, trash, or he could be the next, Joe Morrison or, whatever, or someone who puts the program at a place where they've never been, where he becomes the face of the Gamecocks for 25 years, okay? And it's Will Healy Field and Will Healy Stadium, and that's all you think of when you think of a game, So there's that. I know Kale likes a young guy, so if you want to go with the young and get out of the retread mode, right? With Urban Meyer's a retread mode, Stoops is kind of not really retread because but kind of, probably that's a gamble you take, and Clemson took a gamble. Well, that wasn't really a gamble, but Clemson, basically, the idea was for Clemson was beating us was the most important thing in the world to them. And a little interim coach, wide receiver coach, beat us one day, and that made them give him a job. Okay,
we can get into the logistics of that.
That's why they hired him. That's why they hired him. I have a fact why they had him. When they walked up the field,
will you let me finish my statement, you filthy bastard?
Wait, no, I will not have to lie about this. When they walked up the field, the AD and
Mike, the AD. God damn it!
Oh wait, let me finish my story. When they walked up the field after Chris Smelly puked all over himself, okay, and the AD and whoever the board member was, they said, "Well, what do you think? What do you think?"
God,
and the AD at the time pointed to the scoreboard and says, "That's what I think right there." Okay, because we are your standard, and that's why you hired them. If we beat you that day, if Chris Smelly was as good as he was ranked out of high school, and we beat you that day, your Will Muschamp was your coach. I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I'm not even going to I'm not even going to justify addressing that. All I'm saying is that Clemson did.
If Clemson loses that game, Dab will do the job. Admit that.
Is this what we're going to do tonight? I'm trying to finish a thought here, and your dumb ass is just running over shit. Shut your 4-8 ass up. I did not mute him. He muted himself. Let the record show that. I did not mute him. You muted yourself when you hit your microphone, comrade. I didn't.
Let's pretend that Chris Smelly went 25 for 32 for 310, and we beat you 31-14. Does Dabo get the job?
I don't deal in a system of hypotheticals, Mike.
Oh, just answer the question.
Not this late at night.
31-14, Chris Smelly tears you up. Does Dabo get the job?
Chris Smelly never tore anybody up, Mike. You can't make a hypothetical on that when he never beat anybody that was worth a shit. Mike muted himself again. I'm not muting him. Everybody see my hands. I did not mute the comrade. I don't know what the hell his problem is. He's still going on, and I don't know what he did there. But getting back to this really quick here. Yeah, I just want to throw this out there. When Clemson hired Sweeney, they took a leap. Because let's be honest, he was a wide receiver coach. Wide receiver coach. You can make the argument that Clemson was trying to save money. You could make that argument too. There was talk that the offensive coordinator, whose name escapes me, was going to be the guy that did their thing, but I don't necessarily believe all that. I think Clemson took a leap with Dabo Sweeney and ended up working, and I don't know if everybody else can take a leap and do that kind of thing. Brock has a great comment here. Gus Malzahn. Well, the thing I like about Gus Malzahn is that he has a system and he brings it in and implements it and tries to do good stuff with it. I don't know if that works for everybody, but it does work on the theory of he has a system. A lot of coaches don't. I think you have to have a system to make things go. Cale, your thoughts on Gus Malzahn?
He always kind of looked like a child molester to me. Hey, he's just fucking weird.
But can he win? Can he win, Cale Hall? We can
Holy
look some of those things.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Are you implying if somebody can be a pedo and fucking you're fine as long as they win games, comrade? Is that what you're saying?
Can he
Holy
win?
shit.
No, I'm not like
This
that.
show has gone to hell. Cale just
all
called
I
Gus
can see
Malzahn a
him.
pedo.
I mean, like, I can
All
see
Cale
him.
saying he looks like one. Let's say he
You want
is
a piece
one.
of candy?
He's driving around in like one of those big service vans, handing out McDonald's hand puppets, wearing an Auburn T-shirt that's dirty.
Gus Malzahn. That's a good question. Gus Malzahn. Would I want him more than Stoops? Like,
oh God, no, that's not even close.
If you could give me Stoops, Malzahn, or PJ Fleck, who would I want out of those three? God, man,
for me, it would be Stoops, Fleck, Malzahn, and Malzahn has to get rid of the kid toucher van. Can't have that much across.
I don't know. I don't know. I have Fleck third, okay, but a close third. But I Stoops or Malzahn. God, I don't know. I might go Malzahn.
I can't believe you didn't put Luke Fickell on the
Fickle
board.
What about Einhorn? Finkel.
Well, I mean, is that who you would want, Cale, as Fickle?
I mean, he's done a hell of a job at Cincinnati. He's a young guy. He's got those Ohio State pedigree. So I think he'd be pretty good.
Why not? It could be interesting. Final call for calls this evening, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. As we discuss who could replace Will Muschamp. Not that he's going to be replaced, but, I think that if and Comrade's right about this, I don't think that Ray Tanner is going to make the next hire, but I'm pretty sure that President Kaslan has some ideas in his head of who he wants, and whoever he hires as his athletic director, I think that's going to be in the mix to possibly do that. Gus says that
I have some breaking news real quick. I have breaking news. Breaking news. Doug Peterson, Eagles head coach, has come down with the coronavirus. So, since he's out of commission, the acting head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles is Deuce Staley. That's what we do, man. We produce head football coaches. We produce NFL head football coaches. That's what we do in Carolina. Okay? We produce leaders. Deuce Staley, head coach of the Eagles. Scrap interim. Doug Peterson might not make it back. Deuce Staley, head coach of the Eagles. I just want to say I love Deuce. I love Deuce.
Deuce Staley was a hell of a player for South Carolina. Let me make sure that I put this out there. The only leaders that, as far as coaches go, that South Carolina has that that are on the staff right now that I would follow are Ray Tanner and Don Staley and Frank Martin too. After that, though, it's pretty much none of you are worth a shit. So just throwing that out there. My God, talk about we produce winners. Shut the hell up with all that nonsense.
We produce leaders.
Hey, Mark Burson is second to none.
Yeah, he's good too. Good job.
Yeah. All right.
Puggy Blackman's not there anymore. Puggy Blackman, great golf coach.
That's a good point too, but he's not there anymore. I said on the staff now.
Curtis Fry.
Where did Burson retire? I thought Burson retired. I could be wrong.
What about Fry, the track coach?
He's been there. He was there for like 100 years.
What about Fry, the track coach? Elite.
I don't know about all that either.
What about our equestrian coach? I'm not sure who it is, but I'm sure.
I don't know who the fuck it is.
I'm sure they're doing a hell of a job.
What the hell do the equestrian coaches do? What if Cale? There's a good question from Brock. What if Cale replaced Muschamp? I can tell you this: if Kale replaced Muschamp, he would put a foot.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up Sean Elliott and have us rate Sean Elliott like our 1 to 5 ratings. What if we brought Sean Elliott back?
I mean, I mean that was another name too, but having him come back, I mean, hell, they could have had him before, but
why no?
The Brock's question though: what if Kale replaced Muschamp? Kale would run around with his foot broke because he would be kicking people in their fucking asses. The one video that circulated out there from the SEC Network posted on Facebook where the Alabama wide receiver got a pass, and like I don't remember what number it was for the Gamecocks, but he pretty much lollygagged there at the end and didn't force the young man out, and it was just a complete lack of focus and effort. Kale may have killed him on the sideline. Or he would have definitely beat him senseless with his helmet.
That was
Don't ever get wrong, motherfucker. Who was it?
I think it was either R.J. Roderick or Ernest Jones.
One or the other. He had a chance to make a play and just didn't do it. He just kind of just held up like, fuck it, can't catch him. So, fuck it. Brock says, Comrade could be the quarterback coach. Nah, I don't think all that.
Legendary. I used to get mad at Shaq Rowland for not blocking. I went F-bombs at the TV one time, like big time, and my mother-in-law was in the kitchen.
Yeah,
like,
well, there's
my wife was like, "You need to calm the hell down."
Calm the hell down, man.
They're 19-year-old kids. Stop yelling at them. Good point.
Well, Wednesday night, gentlemen. Even though I'm kind of, I'm thinking we're not going to have a football season. We're gonna until we know we're not going to have a football season. We're gonna do shows like we're going to have them. So
that's all you can do.
Well, and I think that's the way to go. But it's like, I think that's people, and there are a lot of people tonight that are upset that we were talking about COVID-19 stuff, but. In reality, one of the Power 5 conferences in the country is basically their players are basically saying, fuck you, we're not playing. That's huge news. So we kind of have to talk about that. But I think that on Wednesday, I want to do a preview on Oregon because I think that they're the one team that I'm pretty certain will make the college football playoff that's not in the ACC or the SEC. So we'll preview Oregon on Wednesday. Jealous as fuck about Oregon, by the way, and put this out there. Justin Flo should be playing at Clemson, but he's going to be up there at Oregon. He is going to be a dominant motherfucker.
Y'all don't need him. You don't need him.
Write that down. Fuck you, we need him.
No, you don't
need
him.
Your goddamn mind.
Y'all are stacked. You're stacked.
We fucking need him, Kale. I don't need to hear your negative shit. We need Justin Flo. That's one area we're kind of lacking in my opinion.
I'm saying you don't need him because I'm positive y'all be all right.
God damn it, Kale. See, Kale's trying to hurt my feelings and make me want to fight with him tonight. No.
On Wednesday, right. We do PGA Championship picks on Wednesday. It's first major of the golf. The first major of the golf season starts Thursday.
I don't know if Kale's into golf. Oh, I had to put this out there. Since Dennis Wilson, the fake Dennis Wilson that's the Miami fan is watching, guess what, cocksucker? Guess what? If we have a college season, we get to play Miami, we're going to throat fuck your team. Write that shit down. All this shit you're over here running your mouth, we're going to beat you motherfuckers into the millennium. Make sure you bring your ass back here after that game because we're going to laugh our fucking dicks off. With that bullshit, fucking damn it. Anyway,
you better.
By the way,
better be careful.
Better be careful with what?
Last time they came up here,
I ain't worried about them. You must be outside your damn mind. Worried about that like fucking 10 years ago, shit.
I think it was seriously.
Well, it wasn't 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Like Miami. 3 years ago. What are you talking about?
What?
We beat them like 3 years ago. Last time we played them, like 55 to nothing.
In Clemson, the last time I came to Clemson, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Final thing on the show this evening, and we do this every week. Every show, of course, it is this.
The Rob Conrad and Kale Show presents
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
the asshole of the week.
Knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yo!
There you go. The asshole of the week here on the Rob Conrad and Kale Show. My asshole of the week, I've debated on mine for a little bit. My asshole of the week, though, is probably the folks in several different Facebook groups that are basically mocking these young athletes who are saying, hey, I don't want to risk the chance of getting the COVID. So, yeah, that's my asshole of the week. Kale, do you have an asshole of the week?
My asshole of the week is everybody out there in the comment section and all over Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else that says this shit is not real. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it is.
Not that big of a deal. Yeah.
Those are my assholes of the week.
Assholes of the week. You're right about that, Kale.
Dumb. You're just in denial and you're dumb.
Comrade, who do you got for your asshole of the week?
My asshole of the week took place today. Jonas Cespedes of the Mets. He opted out, which is fine. Okay. But he didn't show up to the ballpark today. Didn't tell the Mets he wasn't showing up. Didn't let anyone know. They couldn't find him. They thought he was dead in his hotel room or got murdered or something like that. And turns out he didn't feel like coming to play baseball. He was done for the season. And he basically kind of like a teenage kid who doesn't want to work his job anymore, just doesn't show up, and then says, oh, yeah, I quit. I didn't tell you about that. So, yeah, kind of crappy. That's kind of grew up a little bit. The Jonas Cespedes at 161 in the year with 2 homers. He opts out without telling anybody. So I thought he was dead in his hotel room. Yeah,
I heard that he was aloof. By the way, Mets fans were dead in his hotel room. By the way, my God, they were pissed off. To the people that are over here talking, let's see here. Edwin says you need all you can get, Rob. Fuck you too, Edwin. Dennis says I love to get Rob triggered. Not triggered. Nope. You just run your mouth all the time, and now you're on the schedule. So now, if the season happens, you will. I guarantee you will be one of the ones that will not show the fuck up. If Clemson stomps that ass, you will not show up. You'll just go back and you'll sit in your room and strip down to your baby boxers, and you'll watch reruns of fucking Michael Irvin and all those other assholes that played for Miami and think, my God, we used to be relevant, but now we're not worth a fuck. That's what you'll do, sir. I'm pretty much sure of that. You'll yell up at mom to bring you some lasagna so that you don't have to leave your room, and you'll piss in jars like Howard Hughes did and have those flown out from your fucking door. Don't even start with me, Miami fans. You guys are fucking dickheads. Anyway, he says he'll be here, win, lose, or draw. No, you won't. No, you fucking won't. Guarantee you that. Your internet will get cut off. Your fucking minutes from your phone. You won't have any more minutes on your phone. We'll have to send you Patreon money to get you some minutes on your phone so you can watch the show. Your ass ain't gonna fucking be here. Miami fans, when we won the ACC championship game, never heard another thing from Miami fans on Twitter. Nothing. It was, ooh, we got all the turnovers and we have the turnover chain. And you took that turnover chain and shoved it up your fucking ass.
After that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them. I will give you credit. You're the first Miami fan to come on and try to give Clemson shit. Fuck out of here. You know what? A bold prediction here. South Carolina might beat Miami. If it were at Williams-Brice, I would pick the Gamecocks.
Last time we played, we beat them.
I would pick the Gamecocks to beat Miami. You are not that fucking relevant.
All I'm going to say is this. When the season gets canceled, I am making a show. I'm going to call Eddie Hicks up. I want a Gamecock 2020 undefeated season t-shirt. Undefeated season. And Clemson fans, you can't get one because you lost the game this year. Sorry.
You're not going to wear that shit.
Oh, I'm going to wear it. Undefeated. The Columbia Fireflies, the local AAA, single A baseball team here, they have shirts out right now that have Fireflies, 2020 undefeated season. Saddle League champs.
No, they don't.
Okay.
They do not, do they?
Yep.
Get out of here with all that.
Because the Greenville Drives got them too. All that stuff too. So I'm going to get one made up. A Robin Conrad and Kale Show special T-shirt from Eddie Hicks in garnet and black that says 2020 undefeated season, undefeated year for the Gamecocks.
Kale, would you wear that shirt?
Hell yeah.
Fucking goddamn, you fucking posers.
Then the back and have like
thousands of those.
In the back and have like the schedule, and just like with no results, and then I have the Clemson over LSU over Clemson for your, so you know, only undefeated Power 5 school in the state, 2020, something like that. Like I'm working on it right now, but it's gonna be awesome. Wearing the shit around.
Eddie Hicks won't make that shirt. Dennis says his internet is phone paid. My internet phone paid for the whole year. You have an internet phone. What the fuck kind of Obama phone bullshit is that? What the hell are you doing? Comrade, do you know what an internet phone is? What is that?
I have no idea, but Boatwright's trying to talk crap on the Yankees and Red Sox. Jonathan Boatwright, this baseball season is going to be over in about a week and a half. Congratulations on the hot start. It means nothing.
Brock says, I'd get Carolina Jackpot, Robin Comrade, Kale merchandise. Well, I have a shirt that
merch.
You win a if you enter our contest and you win, you get a championship T-shirt. You won the Pick'em contest or whatever. I do have we did print some I broke Kale's leg T-shirts. Those are funny. We can get you one of those if you want. I could probably get it. I broke Jackpot's leg. That might be even funnier for the YouTube viewers.
There you go.
That is pretty damn funny. But yeah, I want to get some hats. I think hats would go over well. Kale needs a hat to cover up that bald ass head of his. All right, so Oregon preview on Wednesday and whatever the fuck else happens. Right now, it's a shit show. You have anything else you guys want to add to the show?
No.
All right.
Have a good night, guys. Have a good week.
Appreciate you guys. This show is a wrap.